Hi guys, DK here from KaroroCAM. Today I'm going to be taking you through part 11 of this multi-part series on how to shape a kite surfboard in KaroroCAM. And today we're working on the rocker table. So we're back in my friend Monique's wood factory, and in the first part of this video we are cutting out the base and side rails, the first two side rails for this rocker table. So these are being cut from what was just a scrap piece of 16mm MDF, and yep, we've gone through, cut all the openings, and now the outside is getting trimmed to the final size. So you can see the base there with this truss structure, and then we'll move over and we'll cut the first of the two rails. Now there wasn't enough room on the sheet to nest the third rail, and we ended up finding another piece of 16mm offcut in the workshop. So as soon as this one is done, here is the other piece, slightly different color, and now we're into marking out to add these rails to the base. So we're 200mm centers for our screw holes, and we just mark the width of the MDF edge, and now drilling just on the center of that 16mm line, and then adding glue, putting a clamp on to make sure everything's sitting in the right place, and then driving in screws with my impact driver. So we're just kind of work our way along, getting plenty of glue squeeze out, which is telling us that these are being will end up being well bonded. One of the nice things about this truss structure is how you can put those clamps but to actually hold these pieces on. So here's marking the center lines, drilling the center line, and just marking the width there so that we know where to put the glue, and also to get the edges of this piece lined up. So more glue, more screws, just working our way along. It's a very screw intensive operation getting these built. And I just put that one on there to sort of for a bit of weight, because this was sort of sitting off the side enough that it wanted to fall over. And then the final side all marked out and now drilled. I'm lining it up, clamping it on, and then once everything's lined up, just working our way along. Plenty of screws, plenty of glue squeeze out. So this job was done like a week or two ago. We actually left this sitting in the workshop without the top on it, and then we came back, and here's cutting the 6mm MDF top. So you can the previous video actually showed the programming of this cut job. So, and you can also see the laminate trimming pattern. That's going to be in an upcoming video. So now again, marking where we're going to attach this onto the rails. In this case, I was actually marking the center line where the holes are going, and this is marking down the center of the sheet. Now, I'm not going to pre-drill this because I actually want to put it in between each of the trusses. So now adding glue, and this is just standard PVA wood glue, nothing fancy. We'll line up the corners, and then I have this piece of timber that I'll swing across the complete width, and as you can see, we can, because we've trussed the side rails, we can actually easily put a couple of G-clamps on, which is just holding this down. And then starting to drive screws, but at this point I figured this 6mm DF is quite dense, and I really need to countersink these holes because we can't have the screw head sitting up. And my friend McNeel actually suggested we use some slightly thinner screws. So there I am grabbing my countersink, and this next row will be countersunk, and just converting over to use these thinner screws. So we'll do that row, and we'll come back, do the other side of this clamped on rail. And I've asked Monique if I can borrow one of her drills so that we can have a drill, countersink, and driver setup. So that's what I'm grabbing there. I'm just going to replace those first screws that went in. And I'll pull those fatter screws out because they're no longer needed. Alright, now moving along, we'll just keep moving the clamps and the board along, clamping the deck down, and you'll see as we head up into the nose rocker that it'll become more important to have these clamps across as we're trying to put the screws in. So this is really just a box building exercise, but it's just a box with a curved top. And now we're heading right up into the tips. What I'm doing here is, just working the clamps and this piece of wood right up to into the nose. And I'm actually going to leave these clamps on while the glue dries. So we'll just get these last two rows of screws in. All countersunk all the way up to the tip, and you can see this is pulled in quite nicely. So there we have it, guys. That is the final rocker table. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or email us KaroroCAM@gmail.com. Thank you.